Which I shouldn't have done.
Say the line.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I actually meant for us to leave when I was walking out. And I was just like, oh wait, did I forget something? And then I didn't realize until afterwards that we actually had a line. So
Okay,
you ready now?
So Wayne,
So I totally messed up the action. So I have to apologize to everyone. But because we intended it for it to go very differently than it actually did. But the big problem was they weren't giving the audience an opportunity to ask questions. They were going to filter the questions, censor the questions, and we wanted to ask a question that challenged the very premise of this movie and challenged the premise of this event, which is that people who kill animals should have a platform talking about how wonderful it is to kill animals. And I mean, it's like the example I gave when we were at the action. Would they invite a dog fighter to come in and talk about torturing and killing little puppies? Would they invite somebody who...
Water noise. Sure.
I mean, not so long ago, it was legal for men to rape their wives. 60 or 70 years ago, we didn't have laws against domestic violence. But it took people actually standing up and saying forcefully and changing the cultural norms of the day by saying, no, this is just not okay. It's not okay anymore. It's not okay for you to talk about it. It's not okay for you to pretend it's okay. It's not okay for you to sit silently while it's happening. You need to speak out against it.
right.
And so that was the premise of the action. And obviously we did disrupt things, and I don't think anyone here relishes the fact that some people were upset, some people felt attacked. But at the same time, at the end of the day, violence is violence, and somebody has to speak out forcefully against it. So, I mean, look, at the end of the day, the audience obviously was very hostile to us. They didn't like us there. But I have no doubt that all of them are going to remember this. And, maybe there's going to be someone else who comes into their life and talks to them in a more rational way. But more importantly than that, the animal rights movement and social justice more generally aren't about individual choices necessarily, because no one chose racism, no one chose sexism, no one chose speciesism. I mean, it's a system that we're all a part of, but we don't have any control over. The only way we can take control over it is by taking direct action and trying to change the social normative climate so people no longer feel like it is okay to kill animals, and it is okay to look at animals as if they're just things, and it is okay to watch a 2-hour movie about killing animals and just, kind of pleasantly chat about it. I mean, it's not something you can just pleasantly chat about, any more than you could pleasantly chat about someone killing my little girl, Like, my little girl was almost killed. And if I had to talk to the dog fighter who was threatening to kill her, I mean, I wouldn't just sit there pleasantly and say, oh, I understand your position, you understand my position, so we're good. No. I mean, stopping violence means taking action to stop the person who's actually committing these violent acts. Whether it's rape of women, whether it's violence against people, it's violence against children, or violence against animals. And that's what we need in this movement, in my opinion. So, we'll see how the video... I mean, does anyone else have any thoughts? What do you guys think?
I felt like the strong opposition in the crowd from the farmers, especially the woman who said, I grow pigs and I love bacon, was maybe I'm just projecting my own opinions, but it seemed like she was speaking from an idea that, oh, these are just urban city folk who don't grow pigs, and they don't know anything about growing animals, and I've actually grown them. There were a lot of farmers in the audience, people who raised animals, and they thought we were ignorant. That's the vibe I got.
Those same people, the woman who is a pig farmer, her friends, they were laughing throughout the movie. I was just like, I didn't really feel any of it was really funny.
They were laughing at violent parts, like animals.
I don't remember specifically what they were laughing at.
But it's like Gandhi said, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight at you, then you win. And I mean, those are all kind of necessary steps, I think, in social transformation. When you're trying to change the fundamental norms that people have and the fundamental ideas people have about animals or women or gay people or whatever it is, I mean, initially they're going to think you're crazy. And I mean, none of us like being perceived as crazy. I want to be normal. I want people to like me. But when we live in a system that is crazy, the normal person is the one who seems crazy. And the only way to change that is to be willing to stick your neck out and say, it's not us that's crazy, it's the system. It's a system that allows, I mean, these are children. And they're talking about how these chickens are killed in 7 weeks, 49 days. These are babies. And I don't even doubt that these farmers often have compassion for these babies. But it's the system, these social norms that we have that make it okay to take someone you supposedly love and slit their throat. Like, one of the most disturbing things for me about this documentary are these points where they're talking about how the animals don't suffer at all, and like they throw these chickens upside down. And there was this one image where this poor hen was crying out in pain as her neck was bleeding out. And I just thought, there's just this bizarre phenomenon where people can see violence and ignore it. And it's when our social norms tell you that it's okay. It's okay for this to happen, that you allow it to happen. But we need to change that.
Yeah, that scene was.
No, we can just scoot over.
Ridiculous. That chicken was going, ah! And the farmer's like, they don't feel anything. The heart just pumps.
So we just had two more of our brave activists show up. And I apologize to all of them, and I apologize to you guys too, because we didn't go on according to plan, and I actually forgot entirely about the last line, because I was so animated. And I was wondering why you guys were following me out when I laughed and I realized,